I was born in it, molded by it. I didn't see the light until I was already a man. By then it was nothing to me but blind.
Christopher Nolan is known for exploring thought provoking themes and ideas in his films. He especially loves a non linear storytelling approach, which is also something his fans admire. From war movies to spy thrillers, he uses time to intensify the threat in his movies. However, have you ever noticed that there's always something special about the way he uses violence in his films? Like the usage of time to narrate a story, there is also a very specific way in which he showcases violence. In this video, we will discuss the way Nolan uses violence in his movies and how it is distinctively consistent and different from other directors. The first thing to notice about the way Nolan depicts violence is with almost no gory scenes and extremely rare interactions with blood. Nolan tends to approach the violent scenes with a sense of restraint and doesn't linger on them for the sake of shock value. While showcasing of gore and blood seem to be the obvious choices to be used in all the new films, Nolan takes a completely tangent approach. Let us compare two films, Spider-Man No Way Home and The Dark Knight Rises. Both of these films have rocked the box office and both of them contain the world's two most loved superheroes, Spider-Man and Batman. Based on the comics as well as the previous movies, it is a well-known fact that Batman has a much darker character than the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Now take a look at the fights between Spider-Man and the Green Goblin and between Batman and the Bane. As we can clearly see, Spider-Man ends up into a much more brutal and bloodier fight. Now, many people believe that this was done because Nolan wanted to keep a PG-13 rating for his films, but I don't believe that's the case. 2022's The Batman was also a PG-13 movie with much darker and brutal fight scenes throughout the film. I feel that it's just Nolan's way of keeping away from lesser important visuals so that the audience can wow their minds over the mind-bending concepts. Ambiguity, symbolism, and open ended storytelling are just a few techniques in which directors let the audience fill in the story gaps by using their own imagination. And while these techniques are not rare, they are all typically used in times of climactic and suspenseful moments. Nolan, however, uniquely uses such techniques to direct his violent scenes. Take, for example, this scene from The Dark Knight.
Now, our operation is small, but there's a lot of potential for aggressive expansion. So which of you fine gentlemen would like to join our team? Oh, there's only one spot open right now, so we're gonna have tryouts. Make it fast.
The Joker breaks a pool stick, throws it on the floor, and asks the three gang members to fight among themselves. And right after this, the film cuts to a new scene. What happened to the three guys? Who lived? Did all of them die? It's for the audience to decide. Another example with one of the main characters in a film is how Dunkirk decides the fate of Tom Hardy's character. He is shown staring at his burning fighter plane while you can see some soldiers coming towards him right as the scene concludes. Was he captured? Did he survive? Did he escape? Did he die? Again, it's for you to decide. Many times, when directors showcase violence in their films, the focus of the audience might subconsciously be more attracted towards the blood than the story arc. This might play well when violence is a great part of one story, like in Tarantino's films. However, when the director is trying to convey a deeper message, it might be nothing more than a distraction. In general, Nolan's films are already pretty cryptic. Viewers need to have their entire attention towards the story. Even missing out on 1 minute can cause confusion in understanding the rest of the film. Moreover, a common audience needs to watch a Nolan film at least twice to fully grasp the concepts and themes of his story. So, adding gore might act as a distraction for the audience and might be unnecessary for the story. Nolan deliberately avoids using gore so the viewers will be able to focus on the important bits of the story. Imagine if Tenet had more bloodier scenes. Would have there been any different effect on how the audience viewed the entire film? I don't think so, as the film's main idea was to explore the time inversion and using it to show amazingly edited shots. Even in films where blood and gore seems to be a necessity, like war and thriller films, Nolan manages to handle violence in an appealing way in spite of the minimal or no use of blood. This way of creating movies with no gore and low blood might serve as an inspiration to upcoming as well as low budget filmmakers.